All right, let's go.
Wow.
Welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier. And with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dinas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome to October.
Ooh.
Almost. Are we
I
in
like it.
October? I'm still in September.
Yeah.
We're well into October. We're like
We're-
almost a third into October. It's ridiculous.
Ugh.
It's-
We're 9 days in. That's
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
happy about it. I thought it was April last week, so that's where my brain's at.
I did like the. Do you guys know who Zachary is? You probably
No.
don't. He's a guy that hosts those Saturday night. He used to host the Saturday night spooky shows on cable
Okay.
TV. You sounded just like him, so
Oh,
congratulations.
perfect. I was trying to be spooky.
Well, it's
We're
good.
getting into fall season. I would
It's all
love
good.
for all of us to dress up for a Halloween episode. Just putting it out there again.
know.
I feel like I've done that before.
We should try to do that. We should try to do
Yeah.
that.
We
Did
did
we actually
last
do-
year, didn't we?
What did we or we planned?
I
to
couldn't
do it?
remember. I feel like we planned to do it and then it was a fail. Fans,
Yeah.
let us know.
I
None of us
remember
are going to revisit.
I remember sitting around in my Marty McFly costume, being like, "Oh shit, now what?" for a bit.
No,
So, yeah,
we
I think
did. Actually, you're right, Smith. We did because I dressed up as what's her nuts from Ozark.
Ozark.
Oh, that's
Ruth.
right. That was an excellent costume. Excellent costume.
Had
by
my
the way.
fro going on.
Yeah.
And Tice,
I can't
What did
remember.
what did Tyson dress up as?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Maybe Tyson didn't dress up, and we did.
No,
That sounds
doesn't
about
sound-
right.
That doesn't sound
That
right.
actually sounds pretty on point.
Producers,
more astute viewers. Go back. I don't know what last year ish.
Yeah, maybe 20 episodes. or
Remind
something.
us what happened this time last
Yes,
year.
let us know. We have no idea.
So, spoiler alert for everyone that is a fan of the show, all 12 of you. But we're going to make some shirts and t-shirts. We're going to do some branding or whatever. And Dawson has kind of taken this on herself, which is good. But she sent a list of possible catchphrases that would
T-shirt ideas, yeah.
be for shirts. And I literally read them and I was like, who said that? Did I say that? Did Matt say that? Like, I honestly, I can't remember.
I was a little. I recognized a couple, and then there were a few. I don't understand what.
I mean,
remember
Dead
what
Duck
that
Day.
was.
I remember that was you. You did that, Smith.
That was Smith. That was Smith for sure.
Oh.
I should have added what episode it was underneath it, but I don't take the
No, it doesn't matter. It's
notes like that.
I think I said famously tactful. I think that was one of my lines.
Yes,
for
I think that was yours.
Yeah.
And then Smith said the hoarder one, classy hoarder.
Who said
In reference to our dearest Tyson.
Yeah. Yep. I appreciate that. I will buy that shirt.
Yay!
One sold.
One down.
Heck yeah, Smith.
There was another one that I just caught my attention. I do not remember, but never get in a knife fight in New Hampshire was. I don't remember.
Oh,
what we were talking about.
Wait, let me bring these up. Don't get in a knife fight in New Hampshire. Yes. I'm not sure who said that. That seems very Tyson.
It does.
Well, I don't remember what we were talking about. So
it must have been a headline.
Yeah,
it's good that we air all our sort of residual sort of arguments now in public. So
agreed.
Not later.
Yeah.
Look, if anything, we are the most welcome behind the scenes podcast in the history of the world.
That's
we're insanely transparent. I think that the t-shirt that's going to sell the best between that and Dead Duck Day, I think my sister's come up with some pretty good ideas. I'm not going to lie. But
I like it.
And my sister Katja, for those who don't know, is going to help with some of the graphics. But America, I Hate It Here. I think we can do a lot with that.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think
TBD, everyone.
There's one line that I've been trying to find, and I can't find the exact words, but something Dawson said before headlines. She goes, "I got a smile on my face. Let's wipe it off with headlines coming up." I'm trying to find the exact wording that you said. It was great. So that could be a great teacher.
That could. So many things.
All right, enough
Swimming coach.
inside baseball, everybody. So,
Yes,
how was your week? You went to live on the edge of society, right,
I
Dawson?
did. I decided to become homeless and did it for about 2 days in the mountains, and that was fun.
And
You
Matt
know,
did the same thing, weirdly enough.
well, Smith, I would say he did it the smarter way.
Well,
uh,
it was a different experience because we
yeah,
enjoy camping too, but this was yeah, no, but continue with your
no, we went. It was
your
super fun.
roughness, your
We
your
were
what is
roughing
it,
it a little bit.
homelessness.
Some people call it that. Some people call it
Yeah.
camping.
If
Mountains,
you
whatever. To each
if you
their
didn't
own.
make a sign, you didn't become homeless. So just saying, if there wasn't actually a
That's true.
sign at
All
some
right.
point, yeah,
There
Yep.
was not, so it was camping.
there you go.
It was our choice.
It was
We went to, yeah.
All right. Need money for a haircut. And I'm like,
I love it.
That's hilarious.
But no, we went to Red Feather Lakes in Colorado. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, been to it before. It's
Hmm.
about an hour away from Fort Collins.
mm-mm.
And we hadn't been, but our friends Robbie and Vanny had. And so it was just one of those weekends that worked out right before it starts getting really cold. So went up there after work on Friday. It was the first time that I helped pitch a tent in the dark, which was
No,
interesting.
not as easy as it sounds.
Not as easy as it sounds. I
I
would like to thank
really
the makers of headlamps. Blackstone was my headlamp brand, so appreciate you, fine people. But yeah, and there was no wind, so it wasn't that bad. And then there's always the campfire. Like as soon as you get outside your car, you're like, okay, pitch this thing as like soon as possible so we can start the fire and get shit ready. So had tunnel vision, made it happen. It's super fun. Made really good food the whole time. We went fishing on Saturday. Yours truly caught the most fish. I'd just like to say
congratulations.
that. So thank you, gentlemen. Girl power. Is that what should I say that still?
Yeah,
Or is that
Girl
just the Spice
power.
Girls
Yeah,
generation?
that
I
ended
think
in 1999.
All right.
I believe that the fishing contingency has caught up with that at this point. So it's probably parallel. So I think it's fine to say girl power.
Okay.
Probably good.
Perfect.
The more
Yeah.
progressive fishing communities.
That's
Yes,
right. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Good. I'm glad. And I definitely feel like I was doing it the easy route. I was putting the night crawlers on. I had the bobber as opposed to everybody else was using lures and whatever. Teach their own is what I say. I
That's what
caught
I
3
say.
fish.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I still, even out in Colorado, when I would fish, I would do bobber, and people were like, "You gotta cast it," and I'm like, "Fuck that noise." It's a
Yeah.
bobber. I don't have to pay attention
Yes.
to it. I just gotta watch it,
Nope.
kinda.
Watch that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
I
It
agree.
goes down. I as soon as it starts to move a little bit, and Jonas knows this about me because we've fished a lot together. He's like, Cubby, wait until it goes down. Cause I get so impatient and excited. I'm like, oh fuck, here it is. So yeah, it took a few times. But Jonas, I would say, had the catch of the day. He caught it seemingly looked like this bundle of trash. And in the bundle, like wrapped around the bundle, which is kind of sad actually, was
Head? Was it a
a
head?
crawfish. It was a crawfish. It wasn't a head. That was a good guess. But it was a crawfish. There were a lot of crawfish in the lake that we went to. So I don't know. It was just kind of funny. And we were like, should we eat it? Should we not? Like, did it eat some? Anyway.
That's a whole
Should
thing.
we? Yeah. So we threw it back. But it was super fun. Jonas caught a couple of fish. I think he caught the biggest trout of the day. There were a lot of rainbow trout there, for folks who are wondering. But yeah, we had a blast. And then we went back and made some more good food. And some of us partook in some mushroom action. Some of us did not. Some of us are scared. But I was telling the guys I learned a lot about shrooms, and I'm curious. I'm more curious than I have been in partaking in them
I
sometimes.
like
So we'll see.
from what you told us. We don't have to dig into this, but I did
Yeah,
think it was funny that they delineated the stems versus the caps, which is something I've never heard before. But I mean,
I've never heard that either.
I've
So
never
for
really.
those who don't know, I told the guys something I learned about the shrooms. The caps give you more of that psychedelic head high. You really start to visualize and see shit, while the stems give you more of a body high. I have never been told that in my life. I thought whatever part of the shroom you eat, you're going to get fucked up. You're going to see some weird shit. So that's where I was coming from. But it was very interesting to watch two people that, I mean, Jonas knows Robbie very well. They were in a band together in LA and they've just known each other for years. Vanny and I, like, we're just getting to know each other. I'm just getting to know Robbie, but I could tell as soon as the shroom hit him, we were playing cards and it was just like, his head started to do different things. He started to smile differently. It was pretty interesting. Very interesting.
There's a huge myth about that. In my opinion, there's a huge myth about that thing where people see stuff, because they always be like, "Oh, the mounted the mounted deer is lip syncing Led Zeppelin right now." I don't know what's going on. I don't really think that happens that much to people. I mean,
That's what Danny was saying too. She was like, she was trying to explain it in a way that made sense. She's like, everything is just more vibrant. And she was like pointing to a rock and she's like, see all the colors on it? Like, if, when you're on shrooms, everything is just a little more vibrant. And I'm like, okay, that's not too bad.
No, it's not. Okay, Jesus Christ. My whole family listens to this. Whatever, they know. Anyway, the thing is, if you take, my thing is, my favorite example is paisley. If you look at a paisley print, right, it's got all these kind of bits and pieces all over it,
Sure.
right? And if you're in an altered state of mind, whether it's ketamine or whatever, if you look at it, they all kind of just little swim a little bit, just a little bit. I don't see goat heads popping out of windows being like, "I'm going to kill your father." Like none of that shit happens. Like it's just, you just see very strange little things, and you're like, and honestly, if you don't freak out, you're like, oh, "That's really neat. I could look at that for the next 5 hours. That's really cool." So
in other words, trip in grandma's bathroom.
You basically. Well, I was going to say,
stare at the shag carpeting for
at
a while.
Chili's restaurant where they have the little.
Oh, that would be a good.
All those little.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I'm not talking about this. I'm not saying this as someone who did it. Wink, wink. But if you stare at the table in Chili's.
Just, yeah.
Yeah. And everyone you know is on.
From a friend.
Yeah. And everyone you know is there and they're all on the same thing and you're all just watching the table. Yeah. Anyway.
Chili's is now our fake sponsor of Jabber Jaw.
Exactly. Absolutely. I'm sure they're absolutely going to endorse this. Yes.
That's the thing to do when you're young. Don't do it now, but you guys should get some mushrooms to do it now. So anyway,
and I want to get the bottomless tortilla chips too, and see how that works on my mind as the event progresses.
Tortilla chips swimming, yeah.
Just weirdly, we recently ate at a Chili's within the last few days when we were on our way to our trip, and
I love Chili's.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a big fan.
So.
Any place where you can get an appetizer platter, I'm into it.
Which is what I got.
Thank you very much, Jim. Proud of you.
I mean, did you get the chips and salsa? Because the chips are excellent at Chili's.
No, I wanted to though. I almost did, but I also ordered like way too much food for me to eat in the first place. So
I do that too.
So, yeah.
You like to have options, right? That's why I do it. I'm like, I want a little bit of this. I want a little bit of that.
Exactly. Yeah. And the Southwestern egg rolls are awesome. Like I just love the Southwestern egg rolls.
Yeah, they're good.
Tyson. Very good. The one thing though, and Tyson, you may be a little more keyed into this than I, but like the chicken crispers are not the same as they used to be. They used to be like battered, and now they're more of a traditional breaded kind of.
I hate that I know this, but let's get into it.
I thought that you might.
Yeah. A little bit. Okay, just a little background on why
I was going to say,
so much about Chili's is that when I moved to Florida with my friends who were in my band, one of them got a job at the local Chili's. Then another one got a job at the local Chili's, and then we could just go to Chili's. The girl I was dating got a job waitressing at Chili's, and then we just knew everybody, and everybody knew us, and we just went to Chili's. It was literally 500 feet from our apartment. Okay, so I spent a lot of time in Chili's. They comped me a lot. It was great. So, so anyway, Matt, you can get the battered version or the other version, depending on how you ask for those chicken strips.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's
like
the
a code kind of thing. So that's
well,
interesting.
If you order chicken strips on the menu, right? It says
Right.
battered or breaded, and then but you have to specify that if you're going to get
Okay.
an economy plate like you enjoy, you know. Um,
I do. I do.
I
I
do
do.
too. I love it. I think it's great. Brilliant.
Well, so I just need to pay a
Very
little
American.
closer attention to the menu. But no, that's good to know because I really do. I mean, they were good, but the original, they're
yeah,
sort of like fancy Long John Silvers.
they are. They were. I
Oh, they
mean,
really are.
it's literally like I will go once or twice a year and get that with the corn on the cob and French fries and then
Yep.
wing sauce, and I feel the same way about Long John Silver's. I can do that about once a year, because I know I'll be paying for it the next day,
Oof, yeah.
or probably in the next 6 hours. But um,
Or
but
6 minutes, depending upon which Long Johns.
but I used to know a guy. His name was Todd, and he played in our band for a little bit, Bring Back Joel, and he used to go to Cece's Pizza in Orlando that was right around
Mhm.
our apartment complex. We all lived there. And the joke was they had to run home because you had about 45 minutes after TC Pizzas to get home. And and it actually, and I believed them because he kept telling me the story. He's like, "Yeah, we went. I give you as much food as I want for $4.99." He's like, "But I have to go home immediately." And so anyway, uh, I'm just saying, diarrhea is part of all
Yeah.
good terrible food. So just enjoy.
I
That's,
always like
that's
to
it.
say about CC's is it doesn't matter how much you eat, you really never felt like you left like getting away with anything. Like
Yeah,
you just like nobody beaten anybody in the system for $4.99.
yeah.
It just
I
was yeah.
I kept remember thinking I was like, it's like, did they make this crust out of Play-Doh? What is going on with this crap?
Oh,
And
man.
yeah.
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 Although
I
I will.
think that oh go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, Matt and I used to eat several times when we worked at the state capitol in Topeka. We used to go over to the Pizza Hut buffet across the
Oh,
street, and
Oh,
actually,
fuck yeah. Yeah.
it was great.
Was
Actually,
it
it was
good?
very good. It
it
was
was
very good.
really
Yes,
good.
it was good.
Was
They,
it better than like back in the day Pizza Hut buffet, or was it
well, they just had a high
okay?
volume of people coming in,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
and so food would just disappear. I mean, Matt, go ahead. Sorry, I cut
Oh
you
no,
off.
no, that was no. I was just gonna say that's probably the last time I've actually eaten a pizza buffet. I was just I drove by one somewhere near here the other day, and I saw they had a lunch buffet, and I was like, oh, I got to remember where this is. I forgot, but but no, I love the Pizza Hut buffet. But yeah, that was a really good one. Like the Hayes one, like you might be the only like 3 people in there, so they weren't real sort of you weren't a high priority getting fresh
No.
pizzas.
Yeah,
But you're right. The high turnover rate at the Topeka location was just prime for yeah. It was fun. It was good. It was a good time.
I always felt like they should actually well, if you're gonna have a low amount of people coming through they should put little microwaves out next to the soda machine so you can heat up your
Not a
pizza.
terrible idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it looks bad, whatever. I mean, still, it would be okay. 20 seconds, we're fine. Kind of
You
thing.
Just
know,
a suggestion.
completely off topic, but like it reminded me of something I didn't want to forget is that McDonald's, and I think we're actually going to see this in a lot of places, McDonald's is taking the soda machines out of their restaurants and putting them back behind the counters.
Oh
So
no!
you know how we've sort of had this progression over the last 30 years of
Oh, they're
where,
taking it back.
they're taking it back. Yeah,
Ah,
Wow.
yeah,
damn it!
yeah. Because soda's not
Well,
as
farts.
cheap. I mean, we had a soda machine, so like soda is
We did.
inexpensive, but it's not nearly as cheap that like people say, oh, the cup costs more than the soda.
Yeah,
That's not
no,
true
that's not
at
true.
That's
all.
bullshit. Yeah.
That's not true at all. So anyway, I just thought just another piece of sadness to add to both of you
I
guys.
got written up at Taco Shop for giving out free sodas
Did you really? Oh boy.
in front of Bob Keener. Yeah, that was not a good employee. Anyway, Tyson.
Well, I never got an fender bender there, but I was not a good employee either.
Good.
Because sometimes I would
That
go
warms
out
my
and
heart.
I would come out and I'd be cleaning the lobby or the dining area, and I'd look at the I look at the salsa bar and I'd be like, nope, I just leave it alone, not clean that shit up.
I like that. Did you have
Uh,
to do bathroom duty too when you were driving, or no?
No, no. They
All right.
wanted me. I was so bad at cleaning. They wanted to get me the fuck out of the building and just be like, "Go. You can
Just like here,
drive, right?
throw the
You can."
keys outside,
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah,
Tyson, just
yeah.
get out.
I made a joke one time because I said that I'd never mopped, and they wanted me to mop the room, and I made this joke once with Marshall because he was working there and he was there, and I was like, okay, well, I'll try it, and I never lifted the mop out of the bucket. I just rolled the bucket around like I was like doing this. And he was like, and everybody was like, "Wow, you fucking don't know how to mop." I knew I started mopping in the 5th grade at the IGA and Joaquin, but to this day, Marshall still thinks I had no idea what I was doing. Like so.
Oh, that is classic.
I love it. Yeah, because I was like, I don't want to mop, so I just rolled that bucket around. And they're like, "You're not doing it right." I'm like, "Well, it looks right. This is how it works, right?" Uh, there's a, there's a
That's the
food
best
industry.
way to have somebody else just get frustrated and say, you know what? Leave it
Get in the
alone.
car.
Yeah. No. Here's a bag. I don't even know what's in it. Just deliver it somewhere. Amazing.
Yes. Oh, okay. Speaking of amazing, and we need to keep this on the DL, but don't say what you create. Tell us what you created, Matt, but don't say the name. All right. Because we had a discussion about
you're
beer
right.
ox
You're right.
last week.
You're right.
Oh, thank
And
you, Tyson. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
I
so
totally forgot.
this actually is a good segue into our weekend, or our Thursday. We for Kathy's birthday, we went to this place called Getaway, and there's actually like about 30 locations, excuse me, throughout the throughout the United States. And what they are, they're just like these little. What they've done is they've bought like a couple 300 acres of land in some remote area, semi adjacent to a major metropolitan area. Now, I will tell you, the Indianapolis one was actually in Brown County, and it was about an hour, hour and a half drive for us. The one in Kansas City is actually like in southern Missouri, not even that southern Missouri. It is about 2 hours away. So you do have to kind of pay attention, but really cool, like little idea. They set up on 250 acres. They set up 45 of these little tiny homes, and they are indeed tiny.
So
They're about
badass.
130 square feet. Nice little bathroom, nice bed, nice little kitchen. Nothing else. There is no like lounge area. Like there is like, I mean, it is bed, kitchen, toilet, and but actually really nice. Like that was like the nice thing, is like really nice full wood interior. This gorgeous like picture window. Basically, one side of the unit is just one big window, and so you just kind of lay there while you're in bed. And it is really cool. And they do like the focus is more on like relaxation and getting away, hence getaway. Yeah. But so they do have some kind of pretty tight restrictions. Like there's really, you're supposed to be like in your cabin with your fire out by like 10 p.m. Which is way early, right?
It's
but
super early,
again, but I get it. Like at the same time, like now I'm old and lame. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because you don't want people, you want to be able to relax, and people won't and be so free. So like for that, it is really more kind of intention to just kind of get away and just hang out and just enjoy your tiny home for an evening. So really, really good experience. I'm sure we'll do it again. Also, kind of a nice like alternative. We drive a lot of places on trips, so as like an alternative to hotel. It'd be great. But it was, unfortunately, we've had nothing but like sunshine and like 80-degree weather until that day. So it rained absolutely every second, up until about 7:30, when I started to try lighting the fire. And we did finally get a fire lit. So we had a couple hours just sitting outside there. The setup is really cool. It's just a tiny home, kind of a nice fire pit with a big grill on top. So it's actually pretty easy to cook. Couple Adirondacks. How do you say that? Adirondack chairs.
Those
oldie chairs. Saying it right? Yeah.
I've never heard it, so I've just don't.
No, it's Adirondack. Yeah.
Is that Adirondack?
Named after the location.
Yeah, anyway, I don't hang out with enough East Coast people, so apparently. No, it's just in a picnic table. So no, just really cool, good layout. You've got probably 50 to 75 feet between cabins. And they've arranged them so like your personal private window is all facing outward, so you don't have to worry about.
That's smart.
Yeah,
I was wondering about like the bedroom window. I saw a picture that Kathy had posted. I'm like, is that going directly into another tiny house?
No, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't close it at all the whole time we were there. It's just super super cool, and didn't see a lot of nature, but it's not a great time for that. Again, it'd been raining all day, and it's pretty cold. But but no, really fun. We this story, the trip, leads us into the next thing that Tyson
Wait, Matt,
talk about.
how old is Kathy? No, I'm
I
kidding.
don't
I'm
know.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
29 forever.
29 forever. That's right.
It's my favorite thing to do to people now.
Happy
It's like,
birthday,
oh, how
Kathy.
old are you?
Belated.
Exactly.
I do know. You just caught me off guard. So I don't know how to respond. Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
Well,
Um,
I can edit that out, but I won't. Sorry.
Oh no,
that's
no,
all
no,
right.
no! I say it to everybody.
I've also I've often thought about what sort of atrocity one of us would have to say for you to take the time to go through the episode and actually edit something out. It's just been like a mind game for me for really since we started doing the podcast. But anyway, uh, so anyway, so on the way down there,
I'm sorry, everybody. I thought it'd be funny. I thought it'd be funnier than it was. Anyway, go ahead.
So on the way down there, we decided to just stop at the local IGA that was a few miles in Nashville, Indiana.
Oh, here we are.
And so I stop at the IGA, and I don't know if we've discussed it on the show, but we've had in our important private text chats, we have talked about Taco Shop recently losing the availability of their thin style flour tortillas. And I have, because I do not have a taco shop anywhere near, I've been, pretty closely replicating Taco Shop for a number of years now. And so I've used these thinner tortillas, which are exactly the same. And there's this company called Azteca that makes them. And right around the same time you mentioned that, I had just gotten back from my local Kroger, an unhappy man. And because they did not have, they hadn't had them. So just space up. So anyway, concerned consumer, emailed the company to find out. And this was after I'd found out that the taco shop had a similar crisis. And so I emailed the company and got a response back that said, unfortunately, Kroger has been suspended as a distributor. But you can, and I emailed them back and I said, well, where can I buy these? And never got a response. So short of becoming a distributor myself, which is... that was my follow-up email. So how many of these things do I have to buy a month? Considered it, may still. So anyway, we're in this IGA, and long and behold, I see these Azteca flour tortillas, and they've still got them. So it's about an hour and a half drive, but I've located a supply. So anyway,
oh my goodness, you drove an hour and a half to get them? No.
I'd have to in the future.
I didn't know that part either.
Yeah, this was.
I'm pretty sure Bob Long will pay you to go get more and then deliver them.
Yeah. So I've got it. So here's the concern though that I have. So the story is not yet. It's got a sad aspect to it. I'm a little concerned about the dates, the expiration dates, or the best buy dates.
This is what I was curious about.
So when I started, and they were like October 30th, and if memory serves me, I think those usually have about a 3-month fresh
window. Yeah.
So I'm fearing that just the good people of Brown County didn't know what they had, just hadn't been buying those tortillas. So I'm gonna continuing to monitor the situation. But very, very long story short, I was making beer rocks. We've talked about making beer rocks. Tyson and Beth made beer rocks last weekend, I think.
Yep.
And Kathy and I made them this weekend. I actually made them on Saturday night, and it was a lot of fun. They turned out really good too. Like we did the hard.
Yeah.
We did the real dough. We did the
yeast dough. Very nice. Yeah. It does make a difference.
And Kathy let me do everything, but she was like just a great teacher about dough because I have no freaking clue. Like I'm dumping stuff in. She's like, it's science, it matters. You can't do that. I'm like, all right, so hold on. And so, but it was really fun. We got to roll it out and fold. They did like the folding. They actually turned out great. I impressed myself.
There you go. Nice work.
So but that afternoon,
I want pictures, Kathy.
I'd done the prep work that afternoon because it's a process. Like I cut up a cabbage, I found these gigantic cabbages that are like size of a basketball, and that thing, oh my god, like they're hard. I mean, that was a process, and so so it took a while. Like it took me probably, like I said, like 2 or 3 hours to from start to finish cooking. So I'm like, I'm going to make myself a burrito with this, and so I took the thin flour tortilla shell. I filled it with some Bierock filling, rolled it up, and then covered it with my own chili con queso, house recipe.
You did seem to fold
delicious.
it really well. I mean, I don't know that I could fold a burrito that well. And I've been to Chipotle and watched them do it tons of time. I still don't know if I can do it. I don't know.
But anyway, it was amazing. Like it is, and I've always kind of said that I thought Taco Shop's meat mixture kind of reminded me of that very peppery salt, very heavy on the salt and pepper. And so it always kind of so it wasn't a far stretch from Taco Shop to begin with, but it turned out really great. So if you have the means, if you have an IGA in your vicinity and some unknown stock, I like recommend. But our time here may be limited, so we don't know how further we can recreate it. But
that is true.
Yeah, that was our weekend. We just we made beer rocks and 12.
I just want to say that I want to say that Matt sent over. I just want to say what he said because I think he's underplaying the whole thing. I just want to say what he said to me when he sent these pictures over. He sent it to both of us, but you were camping, so you were.
I was very
I was out.
You were camping. That's right. You were. You warned us that you were
But
going
it
to
was
be.
glorious because when I finally looked and got service, I had a shitload of messages, and a lot of them were from you guys. And this beautiful shot of what just looked like a Sanchez from
basically
Taco Shop, and I was like, "What is this creation? It's a burrito. Fucking genius."
Now you
Copyright
guys,
that shit, Smith.
yeah, no, now you guys know Matt is very verbose, but when he writes a press release, which is basically what this is,
Yes, that is true.
this is what he wrote. He's like, and what may prove to be my ultimate contribution to humanity, I give you the burrito. Burrito. And yes, it took me 3 hours, and it is fucking amazing. And it looks amazing.
It does. It really does.
Now, I hope my suggestion of putting cheese sauce on it helped a little bit with that. But
absolutely, absolutely.
You took it and ran. You took it and ran, and you gotta copyright that shit.
Success has many fathers.
Sell it to Bob.
I'm happy to include you as one of them.
Wow.
Like I think I put it all together. Like we talked about the tortillas, and it was just like this sort of thing when neurons started connecting. And
oh my god, it's like a beautiful mind. I'm getting that mental image of the movie.
It was definitely like an inspiration point. It was like just.
He solved complex equations.
Very proud of how you two came together and made that shit happen. So kudos.
I didn't come here. I met it all.
Well, added a little spice to it. So
that's fun.
Don't downplay it.
It's fun.
So if no one's listening, if anyone's listening, who knows? But what I would say,
people are listening. We get the results every week.
That's true. That's
pat yourself on the back.
People are.
Somebody
listening.
is. Yeah.
But Matt, you need to copyright the name, print a pamphlet that has the recipe, but also use the CCQ recipe that we stole from Taco Shop. So just use that.
Yeah.
Because they can't. I'm sure they've never copyrighted their own recipe.
And we need to compare notes. Sure. We need to compare notes. Like I've sort of slowly, because obviously the limitation of not having access to Lando Lake's cheese, you do have to kind of work with Velveeta, which isn't quite the same thing, but you can get it close. But we need to compare notes on because that's another thing I've looked to source is the real legit stuff of the Lando Lakes cheese.
The cheese, that's hard. That's a whole other.
It's a little difficult.
We should just have a podcast dedicated to finding the Lando Lakes.
I do. Okay, so I do want to finish this up. I just want to say that, I told Matt that he should, copyright the name, and then sell it to Taco Shop for like $1 in perpetuity every year, with the condition that they put a framed poster of Matt up as the creator of the burrito.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
right? My God.
Yes, and
I'm amenable to those terms. So
yes, look, you and put it for a 10-year thing, and then that way when they come back in 10 years and they're like, "Can we make this movie?" You'll be like, "Yeah, it'll be $20,000 a month, assholes." No, you don't.
That's right. Get them.
But anyway, I do love this idea, and I can't wait to try one. I'm thinking about coming out, Matt, to visit you, just so I can try one.
Whatever it takes.
Not that we can do it here, but
been trying for years. So
Can we seriously, when we get together at your place, Smith, make them?
Oh, of course.
Well, we have to, right? I mean,
we have to. It's basically an obligation. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, and you can experience the majesty yourself. So let's make that sooner than later. All right.
Yes.
So how was your weekend? What did you do? We're
Tice.
This has been a good intro.
Oh, oh well, well, it has been. I guess. Yeah, I feel it. Okay, well, how did our weekend go? Saturday morning, I got up. Good story. As everyone else does on Saturdays, and then I guess Beth and I were gonna go eat at the place where we went on our first date. So
Aw.
and then maybe go to see the Spider-Man exhibit at Town Center, Union Station
Oh,
in
cool.
Kansas City.
That's cool.
So we went to the place where we were going to have lunch, and the building was gone.
Whoa.
And we were like, "Oh, that's weird. You know, and I'm like, but didn't we order them from DoorDash like a couple months ago? There's no way they raised this building, like." And she's like, according to the internet, it's still open. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, they had moved the location 2 blocks into this thing. Okay, so we made it there. We ate lunch, and that was great.
Hmm.
And then we went to Union Station. We paid $15 to park there. We walked inside. They had all these signs, Spider Man, and we went inside. And and we went to buy tickets, and they're like, "Oh, that closed October 1st. We just haven't taken everything down yet." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Jesus.
I was like, "Okay, all right." So
Batting
we
1,000.
yeah,
God
we're
dang.
killing it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then I'm like, well, this is nice because really what we were doing was walking around trying to figure out because we're going on vacation on Wednesday and there's going to be some walking. So I've been having problems with my back, so I was trying to figure out how much I could walk without doing too much damage to me the next day. Blah blah blah. So we came home and we went to this antiques mall that was I didn't know was there, but it's like immediately close to my house, and we went in there and. And Beth, we were walking through, and they have. I don't know if you've ever been to an antique mall, but basically what they do is they have like 30 or 40 vendors, and they each have this little kiosk, and they just sit their stuff up there, and then you just walk through, and and you see something or other. Anyway, we were walking through there, and she stops dead in her tracks, and she's like, "Oh my God, that painting was in my parents' house." And so we went and looked at it, and she's like, "It definitely was in my parents' house." And you guys don't know much about how all the stuff, but Beth lost her house, and they lost all their stuff, and blah blah blah. So anyway, anyway, we kept walking around until the point where my leg was killing me, and so I convinced her to buy the print. So now she has it, and so
That's
Wow.
yeah,
cool.
it was
That
a
is cool.
it was a little expensive for us. I did some research though, and I could only find it for unframed for either 50 or 250 more dollars. So it was a good buy.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but anyway, so we're gonna hang it in her office. But
Nice.
it's a long story, but she lost a lot of stuff. Her family lost a lot of stuff in various difficult situations. So that was kind of fun, to find that. So that was cool.
That
Uh,
is fun.
and I love a good antique mall. There's a great one in Lawrence. There's a good one.
Oh my
That one wasn't
God.
bad. Oh, I love.
You and Megan Solomon should get together and go antiquing. Every time
Well,
she goes to one of those with her mom, because her mom's a
sorry.
big
Go ahead.
antiquer, she fucking sends me the worst pictures of like these dolls on like literally everywhere. Like she'll change it to black and white and like zoom in on the face, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, stop this.
There was a kiosk with just all dolls,
Of course.
and I was
Nope,
looking up
not doing
above
it.
like the display cases, like they have this high ceiling, and there was a full-sized woman, all dressed in black, pushing a black baby carriage, and it was like $700, and I was like, "That's
Gross.
horrifying." I was like, "But
Yeah.
be good for Halloween, like
For
because
Halloween, sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
because
just casually like pushing it around? No.
no,
What's wrong
yeah,
with you?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of dolls. There were a lot of Coca-Cola products. We only made it through like 3 things.
Oh, yeah.
But I will say that I have found some really neat things. I found a pack of AIDS trading cards. Do you guys remember those? Of course you don't.
No.
Yeah.
AIDS trading cards?
Yeah, Topps put out AIDS trading cards, AIDS,
Right,
the
that's what I
food.
thought you said.
Yeah, they put out a
Mm-mm.
series of trading cards to try to to hip kids to the fact that they could get AIDS.
Interest.
Shut up.
Yeah, and I
That is nuts.
I found a
I've
pack of
never heard of those.
Producers, bring one of those up.
I found a pack of one of them. I found a pack for $1, and I was like, "This is going in the tacky wing for sure." I mean, there's no way.
Absolutely.
There's no because I mean, the audacity of putting out trading cards about something that was killing thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands of people at a
That
time,
is wild.
and it came with a piece of gum. So
Awareness trading cards. Holy shit.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never know what you're gonna find at one of those antique malls. So I was
Okay, see, I like this kind of stuff. It's the demon dolls that are a little too much.
The evil curiosities that
Yes.
start your fancy.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys want to do headlines? Sorry.
Sure.
Whatever you want, Tyson.
No, I don't know. You guys got to, I mean, I can.
I just like that there was no segue. It was just like, well.
No. I mean, what are you going to do? Hey, you guys got AIDS? You should try these trading cards out. They're great. I mean,
hey, let's do headlines.
Worst segue of all time. Okay. You guys
wow.
You don't have AIDS, right? But you like.
Hey, you know what? I was gonna make a really. It's not a joke. My uncle actually died of AIDS. So there you go, Tice. Yep, he did.
Did he buy any of these cards?
Possibly.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, you're just killing the humor, honey. All right.
You started it.
I started it. It's true. That's fine. I have a pack of AIDS trading cards. That's on me.
That's on. Yes.
I'm sorry for your loss. So
Thank you.
This is kind of a thing. I'm going to talk through this. This is from Esquire. So, do you guys know who Amy Coney Barrett is? She's part of the Supreme Court now.
Oh yes, I remember her.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So she's part of this church called the Holy Mother Church, and she's a little kind of weird about religious stuff. I don't know if you guys know that, but
yeah.
Anyway, here's the headline. Unsurprisingly, Amy Coney Barrett's weird church faces allegations of abuse. The feds won't confirm if there was an investigation, but weird ideas for sure beget weird behavior. Her church is like the women are there to serve the men, and kids don't fall in line, yada yada.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's any weirder than like any other mainstream religion. No offense, everyone. Y'all have weird things you think about. But anyway, there might be an investigation into her church, which is not very big.
Oh.
It's quite small, actually. And so, so just a thought. Here's a quote. One woman who was interviewed by agents in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I guess there is a Minneapolis, Kansas, so I guess you would say Minnesota. Said she received an update last week and was told by agents that the investigation into her own claims, which involved allegations of sexual abuse by a teacher, had been closed. The woman told The Guardian that the news had left her disappointed and defeated and full of, quote, a lot of questions, unquote, because the agents had seemed interested in pursuing the matter. So that's a weird one. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah.
Here's another quote from the thing that I thought was great. One of the late Senator Dianne Feinstein's last great moments was when she looked up the nominee Amy Coney Barrett up and down during the confirmation hearing and said, quote, "The dogma lives loudly in you," unquote. Which is fantastic, by the way.
That is. Damn.
Throw some shit right your way. Okay, here's the other one. This is a little weird, but this is from HuffPost. Did you guys get the alert this week? Last week?
At like 2:20 in the afternoon or whatever that was?
Yeah. Right in the middle of a business meeting. I was like, whoa, everybody okay? What's going on? Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'd never heard my phone make that noise. I was like, oh, that's a new noise. It was 1:20 here and probably noon.
Oh, that's right. Probably
at your place.
Wherever.
Anyway, this is from HuffPost. The right-wing internet is full of wild theories about a text message from FEMA. Okay, so I'm
Oh,
just going to read you a
of
couple of
course
these
there is.
Dear
amazing
Lord.
things. Here's a couple. This is great. Um, Quote: these tests and exercise of drills, if you prefer, are always proceeding of or simultaneously with an actual created crisis. The crisis is first simulated and then created. End times news and global events. That's this guy's subscribers. That's the name of the subscriber thing on YouTube. Um, Jason Secura, spirit follow, influential with 170,000 followers each on YouTube and Instagram. Warned believers in videos last month that the emergency test was disguised as a test with the intention of activating graphene oxide and other nanoparticles that have been inserted into billions of human beings around
There
the
it
world
is.
throughout the obvious mediums.
Oh, that's
Fucking
not
cracked it.
crazy at all. Oh, wow.
Oh, there's a couple more, by the
Good
way.
looking out, lunatics.
It's almost like someone had a gun pointed to you and from very far away, and somebody came to you and said, "Hey, you're in the line of fire with that bullet. You may want to take a step to the left so you don't get shot." Um, okay, there's one more that's really good. Um, do, 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 do. Uh, on Truth Social, the Trump-backed social media network, one QAnon influencer noted that the emergency test coincided with rumored nuclear evacuation drills in Russia and warned, quote, "You and your body have been continuously assaulted by every poison, bioagent, medication, and criminal warfare device, millimeter, X-rays, and microwave conceivable for your entire lives. Y'all get ready. October 4th is their activating Marburg virus through a 5G signal, which they are activating on October 4th. This will affect anyone who took the shots." Uh,
Come to think of it, I do feel like I have superpowers now.
yeah,
Anybody else?
Oh, I mean,
Can you
when was
fly
that?
now?
Last
What a
Tuesday?
fucking idiot. What is.
Oh,
well, I mean, that's the beauty of people that love, conspiracy theories.
I
Is
mean, well,
they keep it.
QAnon has a pretty solid track record, so
They do.
you might,
They do. They're on to something sometimes.
wasn't
Not.
QAnon like disproven by HBO? Like three? Is there still
Oh yeah,
QAnon influencers? Like, uh,
Yep.
yeah, I guess
there was.
Because
HBO,
Oh,
HBO or the Max is part of the left
mainstream
wing
liberal
agenda. Yeah.
media. Yeah, yeah.
here's this last bit. Since we were talking about QAnon, the news wasn't all bad. At least a few conspiracy theory-minded webzines saw the wireless emergency alerts text as a positive development. One Truth Social user, for example, pointed out that the digits in the military time for the announced start and end to the test. 1420 and 1450 added up to 17, a supposed reference to Q, the 17th letter in the alphabet, and calling card for a QAnon conspiracy theory. Proof the white hats control the D4 EAS tests. According to some, white hats have full control of communications. If anything, these vibrations will be healing frequencies. So I'm told. I, for one, am not taking any measures to hide my phone. So you know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I love people. I mean, they're just great. The, the, they're just so good.
Yes.
They should write books and not do this. This is my last headline. It's from the Kansas City Star. This headline doesn't really work unless you see the picture, but I'm just going to read it to you, and I encourage you all to look it up. Python sneaks into bathroom while homeowner is showering and hogs the toilet paper.
I
Oh
saw this,
God.
so I
See
have seen
this?
the photo.
Fucking A.
Okay,
Yeah, it's wrapped around the toilet. Yeah.
Ooh, no, no, no.
yeah, look at
No, no.
that.
Negatory, good buddy.
I like
God.
I like this is the first paragraph in that story. A python with a wicked sense of humor sneaked into somebody's bathroom in Australia. I told Beth, I was like, look at this. I mean,
That's
he found
hilarious.
the softest place to lay. It's on the Charmin, right? Like it's gotta be. So anyway, those are my headlines.
Well
Go
done,
team.
Tice.
Go team.
Those are good. Smith?
Yeah, I've got quite a few, but I'm not going to go into too in depth on these just because they're kind of, stupid. So if you didn't see it, Trump fell off the Forbes 400 list
Oh, he
last week
did.
because
Oh,
he's not making any money, and he's giving his attorneys a lot of money, and we're learning that he never really had any money in the first place. Uh,
shocker.
so this is from Media. Trump rails at very badly failing Forbes magazine, claims they conspired with Letitia James to keep him off the wealthiest people list. So yes.
That makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do they say? The apple doesn't fall from the tree. It's Truth Social. It's he's right there with you in Crazyville. What else did we have here? Oh yeah, and a bit of a downer. Israel sort of got
Uh,
badly attacked.
yep.
And this is just I'm not going to get too into this because what is fascinating to me about this story is how people are going to rationalize and justify their support given the political condition. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but basically, like this is traditionally Western countries have supported Israel. I mean, that's just kind of been a thing. I know something about Israel, and so I really am not a huge fan of the idea of
Me
Israel.
neither.
I mean,
Yeah.
and so this is where so this is what's I think is going to be interesting about this is people in the coming days and as this escalates are going to have to basically kind of I think a lot of a lot of the invisibility cloak is going to go away of Israel. I think a lot of bad shit has happened to Israel. I don't think it's as bad
Yeah.
as some people make it out to be, but again they did just kind of go in and take this land, and it pissed some people off, and it will continue for always to for always piss people off. And I don't know why obtaining land legitimately by treasure or blood is any better, but that's how land is typically acquired: is that we beat someone. It's agreed upon, and this never was, and so it's always going to be a hotbed. I just say, Jared Kushner, we miss you. You were doing such a solid job in this area, and it was clear. So yeah, just a really weird thing, because I think the article I had said Hamas attack is a staggering failure for Israel's intelligence and security forces. If you want to know where we learned the playbook for post 2011, from 9/11, it was Israel. It was they had done all this 15, 20 years prior. And it just all fell apart. I mean, it just they have it's crazy. They have these underground walls blocking. It's nuts how secure they've made this, because it's a little country right now. That's the thing. It's not a big place, so you can be real secure in a little country. I don't know, just really interesting to see but I don't think it's going to be as politically simple this time. I think Israel might become sort of I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but it might just be a little different this time around for who's supporting whom, and
No, I agree. I mean, I think, to back up what you're saying, so after World War II, we just were like, here you go, Jews, you can have Israel. Everybody else move the fuck out. That's kind of what happened, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people feel pretty guilty about what happened to the Jews in World War II, which is fucking fair. However, having somebody come in and revitalize a neighborhood, which is what
it's
I'm
it's kind of the two wrongs, kind of thing.
and so I understand completely why everybody's angry in that area, but they need, in my opinion, I don't think I believe in anything that much that I would go to war for. Maybe don't cancel the Simpsons, maybe, but I'm not gonna go in. They love that area, and I think John Stewart said it best. He's like that's the beginning of civilization. He's like Muhammad and Jesus Christ and Noah all went to the same high school, and so it's just this weird deal where they're all just kind of in this group, right?
Yeah.
And I was quite shocked to find out how bad the attack was. I guess I wasn't paying. It just popped up on TV, and I'm like, oh, that sucks, another war, But then I was like, oh shit. But
I did the same thing.
again, what Matt was saying, I don't think it's fair for everyone to be like, we know
this isn't Ukraine. It's not Ukraine. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a completely different ball of wax.
In
Ukraine, there's a very idea that they're going to come in and take the country, and they're going to take over people, and these guys are just trying to get their fucking buildings back. I mean,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
so.
And again, not to minimize I mean, it was, they're saying
It's
they think
horrible.
over
Yeah.
1,000 people might have died at
Oh
a
yeah,
music festival.
Yeah.
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 I mean, this was just I saw an article earlier today where there were people, have you guys ever seen like those little like, sort of like flying go-karts that have parachutes on top? Have you ever seen I used to see them in
Oh, I
Kansas.
have seen those. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They flew in on those things. Like
No
they were like
shit.
literally had people with assault rifles
Oh my
flying those.
God.
So it was just like, because they always do these like rocket attacks. I think like this whole defense system built up
Yeah.
around rocket attacks. They learned that didn't work, so they went to just like crazy MacGyver sort of level of
Yeah.
lack of a better ingenuity to sort of terrible deal. I don't know.
It really is.
We'll see
Yeah.
what happens. We certainly didn't need another war, but
We did see, the United States, which we constantly like sort of. Oh my God, I'm going to come off sounding anti-Semitic, and I'm not. I promise I'm not.
Well,
But
that's a fair point to make, because this has been one of those things where it's like conversation has been limited because of fear of that.
right,
There
yeah,
is
like
that aspect of it, and that has been something that I don't think is fair on their. I think that is something that has been unfair for a long time. It's like, it's just, if there's criticism of this, you're anti-Semitic. That's
yeah.
not
Right.
true.
No, I mean it's you have some legit concerns about how that place was set up and the problems. I mean, it's not like Israel is complicit in this whole deal. It's not like they've just been like, hey, come on and visit. You can worship at our temples even though you're Muslim, kind of thing.
Right.
They're not doing any of
Mm-hmm.
that. It's like,
No.
so,
Yeah. So
uh,
anyway, we'll
It's
keep an eye on it.
complex.
Sad
Yeah.
news, just not
It
a
is.
happy. It's just
well,
I mean, this is it's a
super
big.
sad
It's
considering how many people have died already, and
that's
it's
yeah,
going to grow, so.
Big time. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God.
So something lighter. It's official. WGA members overwhelmingly ratify new 3-year deal with the studios. So the writer's strike
Yay.
is. I think we heard news of this mid last week that there was a tentative agreement reached. So yeah, and it sounds like they got most of what they wanted, which is pretty impressive. So now this is not as big as and I stress that the String Actors Guild strike is still going on. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
and so
Yep.
this is part of the problem solved. SAG is a considerably larger union. Is that right?
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it is because there's just way more people trying to be actors than there are trying to be writers for
Oh, well, that
television.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that. But I don't know. Like, does this mean that basically, like, the fall is fall? I mean, is new production probably done TV wise
Well,
until the next year?
I've been watching some TV because I watched, for example, I watched all the football games yesterday and last night, and it's just the lineup is just full of fucking game shows. That's all they got. They're just game
Yeah.
shows, game
Yeah.
shows, game shows.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's what they're going to do. And unfortunately, some of those game shows are going to catch on, and then they're going to drown out the rest of the
Yep.
stuff. Uh,
Yep. Yep.
I think it was interesting. I don't know if you read anything about the SAG thing, but what they've been doing to people that act, they've been asking people to come in and do body scans. And they just do a
Yes.
straight body scan of them, and they're like, okay, move on. And they don't know if they own the body scans
Yeah.
or what's going on with those, because they could recreate any of those people if they
Yeah,
wanted
they just
to.
like tell them they're like going in for a day. My understanding is they tell them they're going in for like a day of shooting, or like it's one of the other sort of like day shot lists, and they're like, oh no, today we're going to scan. I'm like, that freaked people out, and goddamn rightfully so, it should have. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I read one thing. This guy was like, well, I was working on Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Ewan Gregor was in front of me, and he just went in there, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just go in there, But like, it's like they don't know what they're going to do with any of this stuff, and they
Yeah.
theoretically could
Ugh.
just recreate them in
Yeah.
background situations, and they would get no money for it because.
That was an interesting thing I heard about on NPR, I think a couple weeks ago, about where they were talking about all of the sort of background workers. There's a lot of those. You hit the nail on the head. Is a lot of those background actors who are just like, those are the people, like those day players, are the people who are really worried about their job, because
Sure.
we're not quite there yet, but we're 3 to 5 years away from that.
Yeah, we're
and
real
so
close.
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
real close. And so those are the people that are really worried. And a lot of those people are SAG members, to be fair. I mean, you don't just get, like, most actors are not the main people. Like, the vast majority are not. So yeah, kind of an interesting thing. I just was curious to see. I don't know if we'll see. But yeah, you're right. More game shows and reality TV now that the writers are back. Had the writers held out, we wouldn't have had this problem, but the writers went back. So now we will have a...
well, I'm glad for the writers, because, you guys know that I'm more of a writer guy than an actor guy.
Actor guy, yeah.
But, I would say, it was interesting, like, do you own your own likeness? I mean, that's a whole new level of, like...
That's crazy.
Thing, like...
Yeah.
I mean, you could sell your likeness away and you wouldn't even know you did. Because you just signed the fucking thing, Like,
I think, like, how this reminds me is like estates, like where you have, like, the Jimi Hendrix estate, or the, like, where that likeness does become property. So I'm not exactly sure how that, like, because I also thought too, like, being a public, what qualifies as a I don't know. It's an interesting, like, a public figure is different than an actor, and so this probably hasn't been sorted out legally. It's
I'm sure it hasn't. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, so they may have to go through this whole thing, unless the studios are like, look, you still own your likeness. We have to pay you every time you use it. Then I gotta say that until somebody brings it to court and be like, well, they used me in the background of fucking the new Emily in Paris movie, and I fucking hate that show, and whatever, and like, like.
You get your residual check for $4.95, and you're like, I'm in what?
Exactly. Exactly.
So anyway, that was good to see. Couple lighter ones. U.S. Customs officials seized giraffe feces from a woman at a Minnesota airport.
Saw that, yeah.
Customs officials poo-pooed. Good one, AP. The plans of an Iowa woman who wanted to make jewelry from the giraffe feces she picked up on the way to Kenya. I would guess you can't bring giraffe feces, but I wouldn't be 100% on that. What would your guys' take be?
I would say that we need to shut down Etsy, because that's the problem. That's why she's doing this.
Oh, I can't back that.
No, I don't. I'm kidding. It feels like she's going to sell it on Etsy.
Supporting your weird family members who are making jewelry out of fucking shit.
Wow. I guess I guess it's like a fruit. I guess. I mean, it's, like, I don't know. That's weird. I hadn't thought about that.
It's so weird.
I'm going to look that up, Matt. Go ahead.
And then the last one, last two, Indianapolis police, local news for you. Indianapolis police capture a cheeky monkey that escaped and went on the lam. So the other day, on the east side of Indianapolis, a private resident who owned a monkey, because there's no laws against it. So what the hell not? Freedom. And it escaped, and the Indianapolis police spent most of the day chasing it around eastern Indianapolis, and they did locally successfully relocate the monkey and return it to its owner.
And the end of the story is that monkey slept really well that night.
He did. Had a big day. Yeah, had a big day. And
hold on. A tired monkey is a good monkey. I think that goes across the board.
Tired monkey. New T-shirt. Tired monkey is a good monkey. And
adding right now.
This was from just a couple hours ago. California Governor Gavin Newsom vetoes bill that would ban caste discrimination. So now here, I'm thinking this a little bit. He also vetoed another bill that had to do with, and I could be overstating this, but I thought it said making it mandatory for elementary schools to have free condoms available. Now, this is what happens when you go all the way to the fucking left. And so what Gavin is doing, because this whole caste thing, Tyson, you'll remember this piece. This was really popular 8 to 10 years ago. They were doing this whole Sharia law nonsense. Right were like, where they're like, we've got to outlaw Sharia law, which was the absolute stupidest thing in the world, because this is feeding from the exact same thing. It's the same level of stupidity. So this is but what was curious about this is he very high profile in a high profile manner. There we go. Time 4. Got these vetoes out into the public and into the news cycle. So I'm very interested to see if he's maybe not still in this thing, if he might be planning a presidential run, because these are centrist messages,
Yep.
and they're good ones. So I'm wondering. I'm praying. I'm just, and I'm not even a huge fan of Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but I do think he probably stands a better chance in the general election. So
now, did we talked about this last time? You said that no one, or maybe not last time, or the time before, no one would. They haven't set up the debate. Newsom and what's his nuts from Florida.
With DeSantis, yeah, that was. I don't know what happened to that.
Well, I read late last week that they found a moderator to do it. Chris Wallace or somebody's going to do it.
And
wow. Shit. Wow.
Unfortunately, nobody's going to watch it. Like I'd watch it just out of curiosity.
I would watch it. Yeah.
We love debates.
We do. We love debates. Part
of
our
you guys do.
It is. Yeah. It is. So anyway, yeah, just kind of an interesting observation. We'll see what happens.
What was the thing he vetoed? Because it seemed like something pretty liberal, but I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was? It was
like the other thing.
Yeah, the other thing, like the.
There were three. You're absolutely right. They were like, it was like boom, boom, boom in the last couple. Yeah, like so they were really high profile sort of veto. So I don't remember what it was though. It was
something very left leaning as well.
Yeah.
So you might be right. Maybe he's going.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. He's no Matthew McConaughey.
He's no Matthew McConaughey. Matthew, I know you're a friend of the cast. Run, buddy. Damn it. Yeah.
It actually wouldn't surprise me if that guy listened.
God. I'd love to see Matthew McConaughey, because he is the best choice. And that's saying something. He is.
And he is
the best choice. So anyway.
He's got the woman vote. He's got the stoner vote. I mean, he's all in.
He's got. Yeah, so. Come on, Matt. All right, those are my headlines.
Yay, those are good.
Good headlines.
What else happened?
I just have a few. This first one is from the Daily Mail. Wife arranged threesome. Husband's birthday, realizes that she's a lesbian and files for divorce. Very long headline for a very stupid thing that she did. So basically, this woman, mother of two, her name's, Teresa Rose, from Portland, Oregon. She decided that she was going to get her husband a threesome for his birthday.
Good
and
wife.
Then after that, after they had the threesome, she discovered that how shallow her relationship with her husband was, felt a deeper connection to the woman, and divorced him. And so 3 weeks later, she started dating this woman that she's still happily together with. They have beautiful pictures together. It's fucking hilarious. Like, I just keep thinking about the husband and all of this. Like, that poor bastard. Because she just like rode off into the sunset. But he's pissed. He's got to be pissed. I want to hear his side.
It like hinges on like, was it his idea or not? Like, did he ever mention it in passing? Because if he did, that shit's on you.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the risk you take. But if it was just her idea, I think it's a little simpler story than maybe it's been told as, because you know what I mean? Like, maybe it really wasn't for him in the first place. Maybe.
It's unfortunate.
She was, a little curious, and
I don't know if she went to college, but she should have figured that out at college. That's just my thing. But I went from like the most amazing birthday gift to the worst possible gift you could ever possibly.
That's what Tyson said too.
Really did, yeah. Wow.
Oh, poor bastard. Yeah, I think it's funny. Like, the last line in the article, and I texted this to you guys, is my favorite, because it says, Rose no longer speaks to either of her parents and now identifies as an atheist. So that's
wow. Wow.
I mean,
that was a magical evening. I don't know what the hell this dude got up to, but
Rose, I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
good
no
on
kidding.
You. Yeah.
No kidding.
Well, yeah, I will give her props. Like that is a life-changing event.
I've heard about like seeing God, but to disavow his existence, like that's
apparently she did.
Wow.
God is a vagina. So way to go.
Yeah, I can't say that. You'd have to go back and I can't say that. So
The next one, the last one, is from AP News. Missouri high school teacher is put on leave after school officials discover her page on a porn site. So I don't know if you guys saw this or not. This happened in St. Clair, Missouri. A high school English teacher, mom, you'll love that part, said she was doing it, had an OnlyFans account. I don't know if you guys have like looked at OnlyFans. I have not personally, but I know a couple people who have done it and are fans of it. So she was supplementing her income. Her income was like $42,000 a year. And I think she was making like an extra $8,000 to $10,000 a month doing this.
That's great.
So I was like, you know what? Who gives a shit? Like, good on her. Like, we don't pay our teachers enough. So
now she can do it full time and fuck those kids,
Got a higher profile now. Like, I'm sure
absolutely.
her subscriber base probably,
It's not like she was sleeping with any of the kids. She got her.
She wasn't, and they didn't really go into detail about what her OnlyFans, account looked like, obviously. But I was curious, like, how did you go about finding it? Like, did the principal just come across it and go, holy shit?
Question. Did she post up flyers in the library? Probably not. So somebody was looking around.
This is in her free time.
No,
yeah.
It was one of their students' like fathers. That's what happened. I guarantee you that's what it was.
Oh shit. Yeah. Son, come here. That's your teacher, right? That's her, right? It's Miss Merton. That's her, right?
She's so hot.
No, just pretend that's a desk.
So anyway,
never tell your mother about this.
Yeah. And all that results in is Missouri's down another public educator. So good on you, Missouri.
Another one bites the dust. I'm sure others have like put in, like their 2-week notice. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, everyone. That's it. Those are.
That's all day.
Yeah, we have headlined.
Those are both great.
These are very good.
Yeah, that was a theme there. You accidentally made a theme. That was good.
There was a little bit of a theme, and it came together literally in 24 hours. Because this morning I was like, "Oh shit, I have 0 headlines, and we're showing tonight." So, what's been happening?
Yeah.
Had to squeeze the juice. All right, let's plug.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
I watched a bunch of stuff this week, and honestly, most of it was neither plug-worthy or, anti-plug-worthy, however you want to call it. It was just meh, a bunch of meh stuff. So I only have 2 things. I watched this movie called The Blackening, which is
I'm
curious about that.
The trailer for that, yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's an all-black cast, and there's somebody that's kind of like that Saw guy, making them play games and whatever.
Okay.
I mean, the humor is pretty biting. They do make fun of the tropes of the black people getting killed. And one of the tropes of horror movies is the black person always gets killed first, followed by the virgin. And so this was more of a everyone was black, so it was they played off that a lot, and it actually was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't. I read an article just praising it, and they're like, it's the best horror comedy since Shaun of the Dead. It is not, but it's all right. It's worth a watch.
Okay.
And then what's the other thing?
Is that streaming somewhere, Tyson?
Yeah, where did you watch it?
It's streaming. You have to pay for it, but it's streaming. Yeah. But it's like $3 or something like that. It's everywhere. The other thing is the Breeders re-released The Last Splash.
Fuck yeah! Look at that.
Now it's pretty good. It's on. So I got the LP version, but which is put on 45 RPMs, gives it a little bit higher fidelity.
Oh, nice.
I'm told. Um, but there's 2 unreleased tracks, and one of the tracks is called Divine Mascus, and it's basically the Breeders with Jay Mascus of Dinosaur Jr. just wailing on it, and
Cool.
it is good. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it is right where Mascus was in that time period, which is still my favorite time period, where he was just doing his thing, but every time he did his thing, it was so good. So anyway, and then if there's fans of Singles, the movie Singles out there,
Yeah. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
so they, oh, that's not it. So they actually released, so a couple years ago they re-released Singles on LP, and then they put in a CD with it, and it had a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you guys know this, but Paul Westerberg did a lot of the incidental music in that. Paul Westerberg from the
Oh,
like
interesting. Okay.
I think you told us that maybe.
probably.
I'm having a flashback of sorts.
So anyway, the stuff that was on the little CD, the CD that came with it is now on vinyl.
Sweet.
And
That's fucking cool.
That is
yeah,
cool.
so it's got 4 Cornell songs, including his first version of Spoon Man. It's got
Nice.
a bunch of Paul Westerberg instrumentals that they were used in different stuff, and then some of the fake bands in the movie, like Citizen Dick, called
Yeah.
Touch Me, I'm Dick, which is a play on the Touch Me, I'm Sick by
Yep.
Mudhoney. Anyway, it is on Spotify and there's other things, so it's worth a listen if you're a fan of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I think that's it. I will have stories about kazoos next week, so
Yeah, I'm looking
Can't
forward
wait.
to that.
Oh, yeah. Hell
Very
yeah.
excited.
Matt.
Yeah, I got a few plugs. New within the last couple of weeks, true crime documentary on Netflix, Who Killed Jill Dando.
Oh, that's on my list.
Yeah, I just started watching this today, actually, this evening, and about halfway through. It's pretty good. It's not. It's just a decent kind of high production. The story is about a BBC presenter who was very, 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 very well known in London, and who was killed outside of her apartment building, I think in like 1999. And anyways, just a search for her killer. Basically, it's 3 parts, pretty quick. Again, it's one of those things where it could have been a documentary, but nope. Why not turn it into a limited miniseries? So that is what Netflix has done. It's not the best Netflix documentary I've seen, but then again, the best Netflix documentaries usually wind up to be not really that true. So
That's actually very true. Yeah.
As we're now starting to learn, yes. So
Good
anyway, but do recommend it. Soft recommendation, but it's been a while since they've had a good kind of true crime that wasn't South Korean. So because those always get me, and
True.
I'm like, I'm into it, but yeah, it's a lot of reading. So pretty decent. Wrong country, but right language. So I'll take it. Other plug, just really quickly. Only Murders in the Building wrapped up.
Yes.
Season 3, I believe.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Very
Probably my favorite season so far. Like it.
Yep.
Really good.
I think I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know. Something clicked with me at about episode 9, and I was just like, "This is really been a very good." They're all great. Don't get me wrong. And I may be lying. I could go back and watch season 1 and be like, "You're a moron." Like so.
I think you're right. I think season 3 was better because you knew all the characters. Season 1 was great.
Yep.
You're meeting the characters.
Right. Absolutely.
Season 3 you already know, and that was quite a big hit. 8, 9, 10. Like those were. Those were big.
And setup for next season was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Love the setup. Love the setup.
Yep.
So, last sort of media related, or I guess movie TV related plug is I am very much looking forward to Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, me too.
It is the next Martin Scorsese movie that I think comes out on the 20th. It's a bulky 3.5 hours long, but it was, I believe it's based on some Native American killings that happened in Oklahoma. I know they actually shot it like on the actual location of where this actually happened. Don't know a lot about it. That's purposeful. I want to kind of walk into this knowing. huge Scorsese fan, and so I'm really excited to see this.
It is based off the book of the same name.
The book, yeah.
That is correct. Yeah, I have the book. I just haven't read it because I don't want to.
No,
read
you
the
should
movie.
wait and see the movie.
We have the audiobook. Yeah, holding on to that
very
until
curious.
after. Yeah.
So really excited about that, and then a couple just music things I was listening to the last few days. Tyson mentioned the Breeders re-released Last Splash after 30 years. Green Day actually re-released Dookie as a 3-disc set. Not really like interesting just for kind of a historical perspective. There's some early demos. It's kind of fun to see those songs with alternative lyrics, and it was just kind of a fun kind of experience. Like a lot of that stuff I don't think has been out before, has been available, and so just kind of fun to see kind of those 30 years ago. Oh my God. Yeah, that's terrifying. That's what I want to take away from all that is that's been 30 years ago since my punk rock youth. But I really do think that was a very important album.
It was hugely important.
Nevermind was important. Now, this was a couple of years after Nevermind, but I still think this record got me back into rock. Like, honestly, like this record, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I think that happened for a lot of people. You saw the whole kind of West Coast sort of punk scene kind of evolve out of this and kind of get that mid-90s mainstream, the Punkorama days. So I don't know. It's been really, really kind of interesting to see but very, 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 very important record.
I listened to some of the stuff. They have like a 7 LP box set. I'm not going to buy that. But, like it was interesting to listen to some of the demos. Just this weird story, but when I was in high school, David Geffen Company released that record, Green Day.
Okay.
And then they released Hole's record. They also did Nirvana and a bunch of other stuff. And I knew the lady that worked there, and she sent me 10 cassettes of Green Day and 10 cassettes of Hole. And she's like, give these away on the radio. Well, I had a fake radio station, so I couldn't do that. But what I did do was give them to my close friends, and lots of people fell in love with Green Day. Now, these cassettes were given to them before Basket Case came out. And so, it was kind of one of those weird things where, because I was waiting, they didn't release Basket Case for 3 months until after the record came out.
Interesting.
And so it was, and I wasn't really into it, but I did like Basket Case, and then I started listening to it. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And a lot of those people who were country western music listeners loved that record. So I mean, I can believe it brought you back into rock because it's so good, right? Like it's kind of like it's got all these great '60s rock sort of ideas and tropes, except filtered through like a punk rock theme, and it's a great record. Yeah,
it was a great record. Yeah, so just like I said, it was fun to listen to all of it today, just because it was just while I was working, because I was like, yeah, this is a trip back. And the last plug, which is also another reissue, which I don't know if you've heard this yet, Tyson, but I'm sure it's on your soon to be list. The Replacements re-released Tim, the Let It Bleed edition.
Of course, I've listened to that. Of course.
And I figured you probably had it. Came out a couple of weeks ago. And I have not heard a lot of examples of remastering and sort of remixing. But this, and I think this becomes very clear, is because they include, and I'm forgive me, I'm not going to know who the mixer's name, Tyson, you might be. But the first disc.
Ed Stasium is his name.
The first disc, and it just and so the first disc is his mixes of the songs. Second disc is the 2020 fresh remaster. It's just kind of a treat to listen to how much different though. It really is the I think All Music mentioned how full it sounded, and I was like, they always but no, it was
yeah.
So excuse me, but no, are you? Ooh.
Oh my goodness! Are you all right?
This has never happened.
Water.
All done. All right. So, apologies. Wow. Again, not editing it out. But no. But it was just really, really kind of fun to listen to. I actually haven't gotten to the third disc yet, which I think is the more live stuff and some of the demos. But are you getting it on vinyl?
Oh yeah. No,
yeah,
it comes with a box set, and so it's 4 CDs and a vinyl. I have they've done 3 of them before, so this is the 4th one they've done. And the story is that the guy, his name was Ertl. I can't remember his last name or his first name, but he was Ertl, and he was like one of the unofficial Ramones that produced the record originally, Tim. and the theory is that he mixed it to sound like what he thought would be sounding like radio hits. But if you listen to the original
Oh,
mix,
interesting.
it's not really. I mean, that's not what was going on the radio. So what with the first mix, like you said, it's much fuller and much more interesting because if they would have done a mix like that, it probably would have made the radio easier than the second mix that didn't, like. But who knows? This is all
Right.
navel gazing.
Who knows?
But yes, yeah. But no, I haven't got it yet, so I haven't talked about it. But I will. It's I'm a
Yeah.
huge.
You'll
I,
enjoy it. Like I listened to that first. I got through that, and then I went to the Green Day record, and I was like, "What was? Yeah, that's what I did with my afternoon life. Well, I was productive." So
That's good.
and those are I think all my plugs, which is
Nice.
more than usual. But yeah, Dawson.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever heard you plug as many things, so it's been a good week.
It's been a big week. It's been a big week.
I love it. And actually, I'm gonna start off with echoing a plug Smith had last week for the new shorts on Netflix from one of my favorites, Wes Anderson, written, directed by him. We watched all 4, and I think the order I liked them the most was The Wonderful Story About Henry Sugar, which is that 47-minute one.
Mhm.
And then The Swan right after that. They're all shot so fucking amazingly. Like, I kind of just want to go back and watch it on mute just to see the art direction, like focus on the art direction, if that makes sense. And then The Rat Catcher, I think that was my least favorite. And I liked Poison. I didn't love it, but I loved the first 2. So it's so good. They're based off of Roald Dahl's short stories, which I've never read. I don't know if you guys have read those or not. I kind of want to read them now.
What was his longer form of stuff? Was he like James and the Giant Peach and
Charlie and
the Chocolate Factory? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so good. I mean, I don't know what awards they're going to throw at him, but they should just throw whatever at him because he fucking nailed it again.
I liked your least favorite one quite a bit, and that's the only one I've seen so far, The Rat Catcher. So, I thought it was cool because it's just beautiful. Cool. Like it's just it's so many
gorgeous.
different.
Yeah, and they've got a little stop motion animation in there, which I like.
Neat.
So yeah, I'm a big fan. You're right. And then the second season of Welcome to Wrexham, Jonas and I started it. We actually rewatched the first season, and then we started watching the second season, and both of us were bawling our faces off during the second or third episode. Just a little forewarning.
Yeah.
It hits you in the emotional gut big time, but in such a lovely way. The way that they're shooting it, the people that they're interviewing, just what Rob and Ryan and the team, what they're doing in partnership with that town is just fucking amazing. I love it. I absolutely adore it. I want to go visit. It's on the bucket list.
I honestly was so happy that the episode following the one that you're talking about, I know which one you're talking about, was about the girls soccer team. I was like, oh, thank God.
Me too, because I was
I can't do another one of these. I just can't.
Leaky faucet city. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. But, I mean, still amazing, like what. I mean, Rob McElhenney, whatever his name is, it's kind of
McElhenney. Is that how you say it?
McElhenney. Yeah, I mean, he is the guy behind. He's the guy who created It's Always Sunny. So he's not. He's a smart guy.
Not a dummy. Yeah.
No, he's not.
My favorite Ryan Reynolds is like just I don't know, entrepreneurial like to the extreme. Like I had no idea about like half the businesses that he has until this documentary series started.
He runs my mobile phone company, Mint. I use Mint.
Yeah,
which was one of the smartest business decisions. Period. Like was as like an hey, let's just give this dude a ton of stock and make him the face of it, and it worked. And it's a great little mobile company. Yeah.
There's a scene in the first season. I don't remember which episode, but they're just bleeding money, and Ryan Reynolds turns to what's his name, McElhenney,
Rob,
and he goes, My wife hates you. You know that, right?
Yeah, I love that shit.
It's the best.
I don't know
Like,
any. Is it
so good.
is it a documentary series?
Yeah,
It's a
Okay, I
documentary
know
series on
nothing about
Hulu.
this. So, okay,
Oh my
all
God,
right.
Smith,
I will check it
start
out.
it immediately.
yeah, it's
Seriously,
on
you're gonna
Hulu,
love it.
and
Yeah,
it's basically about these two guys bought a failing soccer team,
Football,
and
yeah,
and you think it'd be about the guys, but it's not. It's about everything
no,
around the
that's
whole
very cool.
situation. Yeah,
That's
yep,
cool.
yeah,
really well done. Yeah,
I will
yeah.
watch it tonight.
Lots of heart.
Hold me
It's
to that.
amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
you'll love it.
Very good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite like documentary series to come out in a very long time. So,
Wow.
big fan. And then I also had some music plugs. There's some new albums that came out, I think, in the last couple weeks. Teenage Fan Club put one out called Nothing Lasts
I didn't see
Forever, which
that.
is pretty good. Tice, did you listen to that?
I did. I liked it. I have a hard time listening to those guys and not trying to compare it to their old stuff, but
Yeah,
I did really like it. So
yeah, same. I didn't love it, but I'm with you. I liked it a lot.
yeah.
And then Lily and Madeline put out a new album called Night Swim. And if you like, they're kind of like folksy Tegan and Sarah.
Mm.
So if you like Tegan and Sarah, you like harmonies, you like sisters just fucking singing together, having that family time. Check it out. I'm a big fan of them. And then
What were they called?
Maxon's,
Sorry,
Lily and Madeline.
Lily and Mel. Okay.
I think you'll like both of them, Tice, and you too, Smith.
I'll check it out.
And then Maxence Siren put out a Spring Song album, and he's a pianist, and his music is beautiful. He did a cover a couple years ago of the Pixies' "Where's My Mind," and it's one of my favorites. I think it was on a couple different television shows, but it's beautiful. If you just want some, instrumental, amazing music, I can't say enough good things about that album. And that is it for plugs. I do have an unplug.
Mm.
Camping without an air mattress underneath you
Oh yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
And I have to applaud my husband. He was so good about we have these shitty air mattresses that you have to blow up. And I just don't have the lung capacity that my father, who is a brass player, does. That was not given to me. So it was just hard. So John has had to blow up both of ours. And then for whatever reason, both of them had a leak. So by the end of the first night, we were both on the ground. And then our lovely friends gave us some blankets that they had in their little Shasta trailer. And that helped a lot. But we're in the market for some air mattresses. So if anybody goes camping as well and has any suggestions, message me. I would love to hear them. Thank you.
Let's go
I
ahead.
actually do. I do have a couple of recommendations. I picked up some about a year ago, so yeah, a little inflatable.
All right.
We'll offline
Text
this.
me. Yeah. Let's keep this offline.
I'll see if I can find it again
until they start paying us.
That's right.
I appreciate
That's
that.
right.
Oh, but yeah, that was hard on the back.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Very weird. But that's it. We have plugged. We have done it.
Plugged. We've
our
headlined.
Average time, our 132-ish, 137.
Very
if
good.
we're feeling especially talking.
Yeah. We do this as much for us as we do it for you guys.
We do. This is my living interactive journal that I will go back to.
That's right. Yeah.
Remind myself of what I did.
I'm laughing because I literally referred to it as a live journal. Read with friends the other day. They're like, "Oh, that's kind of fun." We have fun.
You might be able to enjoy it. Maybe, I don't know. But it's not.
I think if people know us, they will. Maybe if they don't too, I don't know.
That's true.
I can't look at it from an outside perspective. I'm biased.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I was going to say, so, let's just plug this right now because I make a playlist for every show that we do now.
Yes.
And you post it, which is cool because you're in charge. And I know I could figure out how to plug it.
Someone's got to be.
You gave me admin rights. I still don't know how to do it.
I know. I was like, Tyson, you can post these, and he's like, you can do it.
What am I, a doctor? So, what I was going to say is, you guys need to send me your favorite plug songs, and then I'll integrate them into the music.
Oh, okay.
I will do that.
I'll do that this evening.
Yeah, I mean, because that way we can get a full, it's just me. Pretty soon it's just going to be sound opinions over and over again, which I know people like, but not really. So
You have a couple of big fans, I feel like, with the playlist. I've heard from 2 people.
all right, finally.
So far, Tice.
Anyway, but yeah, you should send me your tracks and I'll integrate them.
Will do.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, that was it. I don't. Everything seems good here.
Yeah,
Nothing fall off the
everything looks
walls.
okay. Yeah, no
All right.
cats, no dogs.
No cats. Oh,
No
by the way,
cats.
just one more thing. Did you guys watch the game last night? Dallas? What the fuck? Dallas sucked.
I did not watch the
Didn't
game.
watch it.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I don't know what's happening with Dallas or my fantasy team. Congrats, Tice, on beating my ass this week.
there's a game going right now, and you could still win.
Yeah,
But
doubt
I
it.
could win. If I had started one of my players and made 46 fucking points, I probably.
Oh,
Did
dude.
you see that?
John saw that last night, and he was like, "Does Tyson realize he benched somebody who made 46 points?" I was
He
like,
made,
"Holy
he made
fuck!"
on average between 2 and 4 all games up to this season.
Oh
I
my
benched him
god!
to get
What
his
is
ass
happening?
in order.
Seriously?
It's because their quarterback. So I benched Jamar Chase, and because whatever his name is, Joe Robot, their quarterback, has been terrible. And then he got 3 touchdowns yesterday, made 46 points, which is an unbelievable amount of points
It's
in our league.
unreal.
I mean,
Unreal.
you might still win tonight, but if I had started him, oh, what the fuck? Anyway,
Yeah, no, I would be in the fucking dust eating it. Yeah, no.
so lesson learned: don't trust your
Yeah.
instincts, Tyson. Just look at those numbers.
Don't trust your instincts. This season is weird, man. Like Jonas has like wanted to quit the league at least 2 times now, and I definitely had a moment this weekend where I was like, you know what? I think it's over for me too.
Nah, that's part of the love. Okay.
It is part of the love.
All right, I'm done.
Pay
You
the
guys good?
ticket, ride the ride. All right,
Right.
that's
Very
yeah,
good.
I'm good.
All right, love you guys. Let's meet. So some of us are going on vacation next week, so it'll probably be the end of next week, right?
Next week, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
We
We'll let
going
you
in on
people
Monday,
know.
though, baby. That's pretty good for us.
I know. I was nervous
Right?
too because there was some cat problems I was
There
having
were.
earlier. So I was like, oh, we may not, but we made it happen, fellas. So
And is your cat okay?
Is she-
Lebanon, as Tyson and Smith call him, he's good. Thank you. I guess for now, he's a little lethargic. I think I scared him because, long story short, people, he was on our balcony. We let him out in the mornings to just, whatever, cat around. And he was definitely going after some wasps or flies. I couldn't tell what it was, but he had his whole damn little arm, leg, whatever, outside the railing. And we're on the 3rd floor. And I'm like, you can't do that. We've yelled at him so many times, but I lost my shit. And so he hid under one of the chairs. He started hissing at me. Then he like army crawled into the house, hid under the bed, continued to hiss. And then he puked a couple times. And so then I was texting the guys and I'm like, I don't know, should I be worried? And Tyson's you are Dr. Cat. So I'm like, what is happening? Should I be worried? He's like, well, if he, anyway, I think he's all right. I think
Okay, good.
he's drinking water, whatever. We're good.
Good.
So thank you, Smith. Yeah.
All right.
Good deal.
Good deal.
All
All right.
good.
Yes.
All right.
The cat lives. All right. Bye, guys.
Lives. Bye.
Dawson's cat. It's there or it's not there. We don't know.
We don't know. I can't see him, so I assume he's alive.
As soon as you find out he's there, that means he was never there.
As long as you don't check on him being alive, he's alive.
That's right.
That's true. That is true.
Hey.
I think I learned about this in Psychology 101 in college. All right, bye.